message this morning. So how are y'all feeling? Feeling good? Okay. All right. So 75, huh?
It might be it must have went back up.
Okay.
I took it back down.
Okay. All right.
But I forgot to turn it back down.
Okay.
I thought it went back up by itself.
Okay, so how much can we take? Is the message this morning. How much can we take? We get into how much of what does that mean? We'll be like-minded this morning in the body and the spirit of Christ, so that He can help us receive this message that He has for us. It's a powerful message, and it can be simple at the same time, but it depends on us as people as to how we take it, utilize it, and make it a part of our life. So we all got Bible. We're going to read a couple, or read from a couple areas this morning. Colossians and Ephesians, as we go through. So, but what I want to do first, is I want us to all do this think thing again. I want us to all think. So last week, if you remember, we thought about ourselves, something maybe we did, have done, are doing, that we either embarrassed about, we think somebody would be embarrassed about, we weren't going to tell somebody that we've done, we did, or are doing. So, this morning we're going to change it up just a little bit. I want us to think, now, all of us, about something that someone has done to you, said about you, did to you, got you involved in, that you didn't want to be. Somebody said something to you. Something about you. That even to this day you still feel some of that. Like, ooh, how could he do that to me? How could he say that to me? Why would she ever say something like that? Do something like that? So who in the room has ever been cursed out before in your face? Okay. Who's ever cursed somebody out? All right. Okay. So we all know this social media out nowadays, which is another outlet for people to talk, do things, say things about you that they don't want to say maybe to your face. A number of different ways that people can let off steam, if you will. So I can't say that I've ever cursed somebody out. Maybe sometimes I should have, but I didn't. It just, again, I think we all got different ways of either retaliating or getting our feelings out, depending on who we are as a person. So does everybody have something in your mind that somebody did or said to you that just burned you? Okay. So let me ask a question. Let's say right now, Brother Trevor, I took you outside and just curse you out like you ain't never heard of. Animated as all. What would you do?
Wow.
Probably give it back to you.
You probably give it back to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Same question, Ms. Hart. If I was to take you outside right now and give you all these words that you ain't never heard from me before, what would you do?
First of all, I'd be very shocked.
You'd be very shocked.
Yeah, man.
Coming from you,
Okay.
you get it back.
I'll get it back. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. I like this.
Then again, I may just walk away.
Then you may just walk away.
But
Okay.
there is something wrong with you.
You'll be like,
This is
what
not
you got?
just you.
You're like, what they got in
I'm more
this thing?
shocked than anything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Sheila, if Sister Teresa here took you outside and gave you a piece of her mind about how she really felt about you in all kind of four-letter words, what would you do?
I know I would be disappointed, but I would try to figure out why, try to talk to her and say, why do you feel that way? And I wouldn't hold it against her because it's something that may be bothering her, although it may not feel good.
Okay.
And I know that's what I would do. I would just try to let her say what you gotta say, but let me explain or try to figure out what it is. And because I know how Satan works, and he doesn't want people to get along. So I just know it would be something, but she still would have to get it out. I would let her get it out, and then I'd try to understand why and try to state my case or whatever.
Now, when she give you this, she telling you all stuff about your family and everything that you would let her get it all out.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts on that question? Top. So some will get right back to me. Maybe we just walk away because you're like, this man is something that got into him. A little crazy. So you know we got the armed mans. I ain't seen them in a while, but they got the what would Jesus do? That question always gets thrown out there. And again, we natural people. I ain't perfect. I'm not. But if we had to ask ourselves, what would Jesus do in that situation? What would we say he would do in that situation? Somebody cursing him out. What do we think Jesus would do in that instance?
I think he would say, I forgive you, and walk away.
Like after they got it out, or in the middle of? Okay.
Probably after they got it out.
Okay. So he would say what again?
I forgive you, and walk away.
Okay. All right. Brother Trevor?
Just imagine he come back with some of his own pearls of wisdom and
Okay.
non-violent, non-confrontational.
All right. Yes, we know Jesus always used parables and all these metaphors with things. So Trevor thinks he can come out with some wisdom, some non-violent reaction to the situation. Okay. So let me ask this, and again, I'm just up here, remember, as a servant, as a shepherd. That's all I am. So if we had to ask ourselves, and everything that we learned, been taught, experienced, been through, learned about, studied about. What should we do as people in that situation? What should we do in that situation? Now again, every situation is a little different. So I may say something a little different to you that is lies. Somebody may say something to you that's factual. I can say, well, this black shirt, well, yeah, it's black. But just because you don't like it don't mean nothing. But if I say your shirt is red, well, now I'm spreading lies. So conversations is different. Scenarios is different. I get that. But how should we react? Or what should we do in that situation?
I think a situation like that, to me, like things happen to us and people for a reason that we may not know of. But our enemy, I don't think it's going to be so much like a person per se, but it's that evil part, it's that devil part. And it knows what it's trying to do when we may not know. I think we should understand now that when something like that may come at us or whatever, that's what the device is, just to try, in a sense, kind of trying us to get us to react in ways of old or something like that, I think.
So your action would be,
The action should be, again, to understand that that's what it is. It's the Antichrist. It's the devil. So whether you have to walk away from the situation, which I don't think I would really have no problem with walking away, not having to say anything, and knowing that that's what that is. That's just the Antichrist.
and Antichrist is here to kill, steal, destroy. By any means, no matter whether it's family, the one that's closest to you, or the one that's furthest disconnected from you. But a lot of times what happens is he'll use that so-called family member to be the one to separate us from Christ. And that's where we have the biggest conflict. If somebody you don't know off the street comes saying something to you, well, you don't even know me. Maybe we react a certain way. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit this morning. Is how these things work and why. Okay. So in the book of Colossians, chapter 3, we're going to read 13 to 17. Verse 13. Somebody read that one for me. I'm reading from the New Living Translation this morning.
Make allowance for each other's faults.
Okay, stop it. Make allowance for each other's faults. Now, what's a allowance? It's something I didn't get as a kid, I know. But when we make an allowance, we kind of setting something aside. So if I know, I'm almost like a savings account. If I know that I may have things that come up in life that are unknown, unforeseen, I'm going to set something aside so that when it happens, when I'm in a hard time, hard scenario, situation, I can reach into this reserve and get some of that money out and use it for something. So if we're making an allowance for each other's faults, what we're doing is we're setting aside some of that goodness, some of that love, knowing that we don't need to reach into there at some point because we're not perfect. We have faults. But let's say all of a sudden, we come on hard times as people. We got no money in the bank. Nothing to tap into. When trouble comes, what are we going to do? We're going to be scrambling. We ain't going to know where to go. We'll be lost. So if we make an allowance for each other's faults, we're putting something aside, knowing that at some point, someday, our faults, our failures are going to be exposed. And someone will have to deal with it. Okay, continue.
And forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others.
Make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Now again, these words, stuff we read in the Bible always sounds beautiful. And yeah, we should forgive anybody that trespass against you. Yeah, just forgive them. That's what the scripture says to do. But again, let's be real. Not all of us can forgive certain things that happen in life. But when we make an allowance for each other's faults, I like what our sister Teresa said. She said, I might just have to walk away from you because I know you well enough and I know that something ain't quite right. She made an allowance in her heart that she would have to reach into the bank on that day and say, okay, I'm going to set this aside. I've been setting it. I'm about to use it right now. Because normally what I would do in this situation is come back at you. But I'm going to think about this one a little bit more. I'm going to go into my reserve goodness account, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt this time because I know you're not perfect and you have faults. This is what we should do with everybody. But again, we don't know everybody. Satan knows that. Forgive anyone who offends you. Now, some people in this world are easily offended. Some are not. I would say for me, I'm not one that's easily offended, but I know people that are. Don't make me no better than they are. We just had different life experiences. There's one particular gentleman I can think of that any little thing that comes up in life that he doesn't think is quite right. Or maybe this person shouldn't have said that. But why would he say it like that? He's easily offended. But remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Now, we talked about forgiveness before as a group. About why we should. Why it's hard. It's easier to forgive others than it is for some. Because, well, maybe I know that person. And I know they normally ain't like this. Something got into it. Well, if I don't know somebody and they treat me a certain way, I probably don't feel like I need to forgive them at all because I don't know them. But remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Other than that, we're not doing what we've been put on this earth to do. Okay. Verse 14. Above all of these things, clothe yourself with love, which binds us all together in perfect harmony. Last week we talked about how this love will make us change, make us do things differently. Ways that we've never done things before. Without love in my heart, I'll probably be as bad as the worst one out there. Retaliating. yelling, screaming. But clothe yourself with love. When we got love on us, no matter what somebody says, does to you, it won't penetrate you. It won't make you, it won't allow you to respond the way the evil spirit wants you to. Because that love conquers all. 15, let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. For as members of one body, you are called to live in peace and always be thankful. So we're talking about love. We're talking about Christ. Peace. Being thankful. All of these things that set us up to fight against the evil spirit when he comes. Because trust me, he's there. Always there, just ready to do anything he can to stop us. To make us pull away from the love of God that we have. But like we always say, he's clever. He's got certain ways to do it. He knows what triggers us. Some of us have pride. When our pride is attacked, we respond a certain way. Always be thankful. Okay, somebody read 16.
Let the message about Christ and all its riches fill your lives. Teach and counsel each other with all the wisdom he gives. Sing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs to God with thankful hearts.
Let the message about Christ and all its richness fill your lives. It didn't say take up some of your life. It said fill your life with the message about Christ and all its goodness. When we do that, what can enter in? When our life is filled with the love of Christ, his messages, his words, nothing else can enter in. It can try, but it's going to be on the outside because it can't penetrate the love that we have. No matter what. Now when we start giving in a little bit to that evil, well, now we're creating a little bit of a void that's not being filled with Christ. Teach and counsel each other with all wisdom he gives. And as our brother Trevor mentioned, we talk about what would Jesus do. He said he probably gave him some words of wisdom. He probably take him to the side and use some analogy, some parable to show him you shouldn't be acting this way. But it's wisdom. He's wise. We should do the same thing with each other. Because in the room, we all know right from wrong. I think we all are at a point where if somebody came to us with a problem and said, hey, I'm having a struggle on my job. I'm having a struggle with my relationship, with my life. We all have the same wisdom to help somebody else. Teach and counsel each other with the wisdom that he gives. Rejoice about all these things. We can praise and be thankful. There's no better feeling to me than to be able to use Christ, the wisdom, the tools that he supplied us with to help somebody else and watch it work. There's no better feeling. And I've seen this happen. I don't even want to say it's happened very often. But when it does, you know that it is a sign from Christ that he's working. Something just happened this week. A sister of ours was but I'll name it a name. He was sitting praying at a certain time during the night. And for whatever reason, the Spirit of God had me to send a message. Now, I didn't know this person was praying at all. And the note simply said, God is pleased with what you're doing. He sees you.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Bring somebody else on. Next thing you know, I get a message saying how amazing this was because I was just sitting, praying, asking God to give me a non-spooky message that He hears me. This wasn't rehearsed, but this is how the Spirit works. But we just have to do it. Sometimes in situations you're like, well, God, is that really you? Trust and believe. Is it something good? It is. So don't be ashamed, afraid to cry out when we need Him, because He will be there. And sometimes we get, well, God, I need a sign. Trust me, God will give us all the signs we need, but are we working? Are we trying? Some people throw their hands up, God, do you exist? Let me know you're out there. Well, what are you doing? God is always there. He's been waiting on us for a long time. So I say that to say, God works. We can help other people. But it's like the message on the app said this morning, we got to help ourselves as well. Okay, sing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs to God with thankful hearts. Rejoice. And whatever you do or say, do it as a representative of the Lord Jesus. So, Trevor said he would get that back to him. He said he would. I'll probably give it back to you. Well, I don't think that's going to be a good representative of the Lord Jesus if you get it back to me, Brother Crew. But what was I doing? Maybe, should I have known better myself? Maybe so. But again, trust me, we normal people, when situations come, sometimes either we got to walk away or we got to do a lot of thinking before we respond, which, again, don't always happen. Giving thanks through Him to God the Father. Love will conquer all. No matter what. No matter what people do to you, say to you. Now, some people sometimes think if you walk away, well, that's a sign of weakness. I'm just walking away. You ain't going to say something to him. You going to let him say all that stuff to you about your family, about things that you care about. You ain't going to retaliate. No, you got to get back. Trey, you can't let me say that stuff to you. That's what a man's supposed to do. You're showing signs of weakness if you don't respond a certain way. That's what society wants us to think. That's what the evil spirit wants us to do. Is fight against anything. Okay. All right. We all got a Facebook account. I got one. A new one. All right, so it's a little humorous, so stay with me. But if Jesus had a Facebook account, oh boy, what are you gonna do now? What are you talking about? If Jesus had a Facebook account, so we all know the story of Judas in Jesus. And Judas basically, what did he do? The situation everybody seems to know about or talk about. What did Judas do to Jesus? He betrayed him. As they were getting set to put Jesus on the cross, kill him, Judas basically brought soldiers to Jesus because they paid him money, if you would. And Judas was one of Jesus' disciples, one of his followers, somebody that was, again, closest to him. But he betrayed him for money. So I don't know if we've ever been betrayed. I know I've been let down before. Things have happened in life to where, you know, people do things and then they say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Sorry I did that. But some things, we may think, well, sorry ain't, it's going to take me a little while to accept this apology that you're giving me because what you did was so severe, it was so extreme that I hear you're sorry, but I'm going to need some time to accept it or not. But Jesus didn't yell and scream at Judas. Because he already knew, for one, he already knew, given his mission, the work that he had to do for his Father, he knew that he was going to get betrayed by Judas. But again, unless we are of that same mind, we may not know necessarily when somebody comes something to us. When it happened, it happened. Ephesians chapter 4. Read a few verses. Verse 2 says, always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making an allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Now, being humble and gentle. Now, these are a lot of soft words in here. Humble, gentle, love, more love. Nothing in here is talking about fighting back. Now, at certain times that we as people need to, even with Jesus, he was intolerant of a lot of things. Jesus had a lot of patience. But in a lot of times, too, he had to straighten out situations that wasn't right. So that's where that is a statement I use sometimes. I call it firm of faith. Now, I don't mean we out fighting battles, but if we know it's injustice, if you will, it's okay to address it. But we don't do it in the same way. If I'm yelling, screaming, cursing out, don't respond to me that way. Say, hey, I'm going to let you get all that out. But when you calm down, I got something I want to talk to you about. A, what you said wasn't right. B, the way you said it wasn't right. But again, if we all hot and bothered at the same time, then what's the difference? Nobody's listening. I ain't listening to you. You ain't listening to me. We just yelling and screaming. But we have to be humble and gentle. We got to take all the stuff that we think we know, put that to the side. You know, a lot of times, you know, people will assume that because you got certain blood relationships, family that you tend to side with family and situations. Well, what did Jesus do when his family showed up to greet him? They hadn't seen all these years. He said, no, y'all wait, because I got my family here. His family is the people of God. Okay, always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other. Patience is, again, the world says patience is virtue. But to have true patience means I can walk away from you when you talk to me. I'm going to hold off on what I want to say to you because I know if I say it, it's not going to be right. That's patience. Some people think patience is just waiting. Oh yeah, I can wait forever. Well, not quite the same thing. Patience, spiritual patience, comes with understanding as well. Okay, make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, binding yourself together with peace. Make every effort to keep yourself united in the Spirit. A lot of times it's tough because we got a lot of things going on in life. They don't allow us, as we say, to put time in to try to get closer to Christ. Because we got so much going on. I'd rather do a lot of other things than try to be spiritual, than come to church, than read, than pray. I got all these problems. They don't seem to go away. Well, what are we doing? Are we trying to grow spiritually? Okay. For there is one body and one Spirit, just as you have been called to one glorious hope for the future. So go wrap it up. So this ain't a political message at all. But there was a statement that Michelle Obama made, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. Who can remember what it was?
When they go high, when they go low, you go high.
Say it loud.
When they go low, you go high.
When they go low, you go high. Now she didn't say nothing about Christ or God, nothing about the Spirit. But again, we smart people in the room. What does that mean? When they go low, we go high. What does that mean?
I mean, like the statement you made this morning, if someone's putting you down or accusing you of wrong or just being mean and evil and all sorts of things, we consider that as low. But when we go high, it means we're thinking in a way that maybe Jesus would have us to think. We're going to think of something nicer or more calm and have some humility and patience to deal with that. We're not going to do the same. We're not going to give them the same thing.
Okay. But then we looked at it as being weak, though. Somebody sitting there yelling, screaming at you. You just going to walk away? What's people going to think? We need to respond to that. We can't let people get away with all this mess. Remember our brother Phil we was talking a couple weeks ago. Situation came up with a family member. It's certain situations that we would think we're supposed to react this way. But we got two spirits in this world. One is low, one is high. Who we gonna serve? The high spirit. But how this world is built and set up, evil wants us to go low. If we go low, we're going to take somebody else low. We'll take somebody else low. All of a sudden, all the people that were supposed to be going high, rich in Christ, when are they getting drugged down because of this evil spirit and the ways that they want us to react, respond? But it's hard. It's hard to be on that receiving end and all the time have to go high. Whether we want to admit it or not, we got feelings, we got emotions, and we've got pride about ourselves. So her statement, when they go low, we go high, so truthful, factual, spiritual. But now it's about the action. So the next time somebody say something, this is the ones that really get you. Is when somebody says something, you know it ain't right, you know it ain't true. Shoot, I gotta respond to that. I can't let this continue on. I got a reputation I gotta keep. I gotta set these people straight. Christ will do all that. Trust and believe in Him. Now again, that don't mean it don't come a point where you need to talk to somebody and let them know, hey, I heard what you said, I saw what you did, here's what I feel. But do it through love. So that's our message this morning. How much can we take? How much can we take knowing that our life is ruled by the Holy Spirit, but it is surrounded by evil? I thank the Lord for you all. I thank the Lord for this message. And I thank Him for the things that He's shown me, allowed me to do, and the ways that He's using me to help others as well as myself.